Hey there, everybody! It's Brent here, and welcome to another another reaction video of the Bad Batch, season 1, episode 5. And with me, as always, we've got Max.
Hi.
Hey, so Max, where do you think we're going this week?
So I have an interesting theory.
Okay. Yep.
Um, I think this we're gonna see more of Fennec Shand,
This
and
week.
I think yes, I
Okay.
think we're gonna see her a lot this season. I think I've
All
been
right.
thinking a lot about just the casting of Ming Na Wen and just
Yep.
I don't think it's stunt casting. I think it's gonna be something important. I think she
Okay.
could have a little bit of a flip in her character, and she
All
could
right.
end up being more aligned with the Bad Batch and the clones,
That's a
which would
good
make her
possibility. Yeah.
a little bit of a different kind of bounty hunter. Because we
Yeah.
saw in The Mandalorian, she's acting a little definitely differently than she does in back in the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, there was that note that she took sympathy on the Twi'lek in Jabba's palace at the end of Mandalorian season 2 there, and she took a very similar kind of sympathetic reaction to Omega last week too. And I kind of got that note that there's definitely a sympathetic tone to her character, underlining the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer. um, so I think, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out and how that reacts with the Omega character in the future, at least under her bounty, because bounty hunters are not supposed to give up their mission, are they?
No, yeah, I think that's what I was thinking about. I think that could be kind of signaling possibly that she could really think about the mission and think about the implications
Yeah.
and possibly have a change of heart.
Yeah, possibly. That could be also bad for a bounty hunter, so that would make life interesting for her character too. So, which is interesting. Any thoughts as to who she was communicating with over the comm at the end of the last episode? Since we never really got to see who was on the other side of that comm.
Oh, I'm sure it was probably Tarkin or one of the Kaminoans.
Okay, well, Tarkin, I don't know about Tarkin specifically because I don't think I think if he knew something specific about the Omega character, he'd be definitely a lot more hands on with trying to find her himself, with the Empire and everything. I think I mean, if it's not the Kaminoans, which seemed like the most obvious choice, then it could be somebody else, a third party we haven't seen yet that could be interesting. But of course, that third party would have to know a little bit about Omega first, and we don't know who really knows about Omega and what her role is in all this. So.
Yeah, he could have assigned the role to what was his name, the sniper, Crosshair.
Crosshair. That's a possibility too, but it means that the Kaminarians would have had to have told him to go after her, and I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I'm hoping we'll find a little bit about that this week, because in reality, we don't know who has technically hired Fennec at this point, and it opens up to a whole world of possibilities. So.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, without further ado, we're about time to start. So let's start this on three, two, one. Rampage.
That skip intro button makes me laugh every week.
I know it's annoying.
It's so useless.
It's not. It would have been information to share earlier.
We're looking for Sid.
That's funny that he would say
Know
that.
him?
Yeah, right.
You're sharper than your friends over there.
Did the Jedi have other informants? Several.
Interesting.
Sid was the only one I knew how to find.
Oh boy.
You all right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
According
Damn.
to Sid's intel, the Zygerian slave.
Why do I get the feeling that Spoochie is a rancor?
That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
First guard check.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah, right. Oh, oh.
There's no.
Why do I know that voice?
I know. I couldn't place it, but it sounds so
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah. What's the language?
The language almost sounded like Hut, but I could be wildly off. He's my favorite character.
Gonki's cool. Oh, come on, do it, Gonki. Save the day.
I'm waiting for it.
I hope so.
At least we could be certain Gonki mastered stealth.
Yes. Oh,
Do
I
that
know,
one
it's
more
just gonna
time,
get worse for him.
yeah.
Save your energy. We're going. A rampaging adolescent rancor is not the distraction I was anticipating.
That's their problem. Only
She's
Nagamushi.
Moochie. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Rancor is Moochie?
That's one pissed off Rancor.
Oh yeah. Wonder why Sid wanted them to free a Rancor of all things.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I feel like getting pounded by a Rancor is probably the worst case scenario in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can do.
More head trauma.
Oh! Oh!
Oh my god, this is not good for this noggin.
Yeah. This is not going to be good.
It's kind of
funny.
awesome.
That was cool.
He beat it one-on-one hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
Embraced by the presence of Jabba's right
Oh!
hand man.
I was right. I knew it was Huddy's.
Yeah.
Oh, Wonky Jabba Nagazizi.
This is Jabba's Rancor.
Oh my god. I just put that together. That is amazing.
This is it.
Here's your cut. There's more where that came from. If you're looking for work.
Very cool.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. They're immediately gonna get turned on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I meant,
We already see she's aligned with the underworld.
yeah, absolutely. But I mean, you know, she just set them up as being mercenaries, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, she's got money on her mind and she knows that they're, you know, skilled enough to take on a baby Rancor and take on, you know, a few guys like that. It's like, no, she'll keep them around. I don't think she'll turn on them. I think she'll be very much like, what's his name was in Rebels. I forgot his name. Diago, I think it was. Was it Diago?
I can't remember.
Yeah. The one with the horns.
Oh.
Yeah. He was on
I
Lothal
can't
at
remember.
the beginning. I think this one she's going to be very similar to that. So set up jobs, occasional jobs. Occasionally, yeah, might backstab them or take a bigger cut. But I guess, yeah, that's kind of interesting. So they just set up Jabba's Rancor monster. How cool is that?
Yeah, we got to see it as a baby.
Yeah. And it's weird. It's like when we saw the hologram, it was like, that's a Twi'lek. That's for sure. It sounded like a Twi'lek. It didn't even click. It was like, oh my God, it was Bib Fortuna. Of course it was his voice. They managed to do a nice kind of blend in with the original Bib Fortuna voice there. And it just didn't even click to me.
Yeah, I recognized the language. I was like, he's
Yeah.
definitely speaking. Is
Yeah.
it Huttese?
Yeah, it was it was definitely a different dialect than say what Chad Syndulla speaks. It was a very there's definitely different accents on their planet. It seems Bib Fortuna's accent is very different Twi'lek accent than the rest that we've heard. So it was interesting to at least see that kind of come into play. But yeah,
Yeah, that was just
cool.
I thought was a brilliant just kind of twist in the story, just to kind of
Yeah,
reinforce that. A lot of people think they should keep expanding the universe, which they are.
yeah,
I like it when they make it a little smaller,
yeah,
and they bring back something just as small as like Bib
Yeah.
Fortuna picking up his Rancor that got captured
yeah,
somehow.
that's it. Yeah, it definitely works for me. I'm fine with that. As for where it went, we've got definitely now we're official. Something's going on with Wrecker's head. That's for certain. So I've got a feeling he's going to have a turning moment coming up. Something's going to happen with that chip, and he's going to be in worse shape. And that may even be as early as next week now.
Yeah, hopefully there's someone out there who could save him. I mean, we've seen it done before.
Yeah, Tech will have the understanding, but they may not have the technology on board their ship. The idea would have to be that have to get to some sort of place to take that chip out, a medical facility, and the only place that we know of right now is Camino. So how do they do that? How do they get that kind of technology to get the chips out of their own heads? If they are able to even do that and discover that they can get that particular chip out, but that's a big one. And we also definitely got another insight onto Omega's Force sense. It feels like she definitely was something going on there when she sensed when she picked up on who Sid was.
Either that or Omega is just the most perceptive child in the world.
It's a possibility too. It's just it's so over perceptive though at this point.
She is a clone. I always have to remind myself that she's a clone. So when she's like running, anytime she's like running on just a small surface balancing or something like that, or climbing down, I always have to remind myself she's a clone. She was literally born to be a soldier, so it makes sense that she could do some more physical labors. Right.
Well, at this point, that was the reaction to Bad Batch season 1, episode 5 episode. So everyone, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll bring you another episode next week. So without further ado, we'll say goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. All right.